Hey there and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at how to build a simple rock paper scissors game in Python. We'll go through the code step by step, explaining what each part does and how it works. By the end of this tutorial you'll have a working rock paper scissors game that you can play against the computer. So without further ado, let's get started. So in our Python text editor, the first thing we're going to do is import the random module. Now we'll use it later to generate a random number for the computer's choice. Next we're going to create a function, and in this function we're going to call this function playGame. In this function, we're going to create a variable, and let's call this variable options. And we're going to create a list in this variable. And we're going to use this list to input the options that the computer has to choose from, like rock, paper, or scissors. On the next line, we're going to use the random choice function to randomly select an option from the options list, which will assign it to the computer choice variable. Then we'll create another variable, and we're going to call it user choice. And we're going to set it to input and enter your choice, rock, paper, or scissors. And at the end, we're going to add a .lower function. Now the .lower function is used to convert the user input into lowercase so that it matches the options defined in the options variable. Then we're going to create an if statement. And in this if statement, we're going to say if user choice not in option, print invalid choice. Now what this does is that it checks what the user has entered and if it matches the options in the options variable. If it doesn't match the options in that variable, then we're going to add a return function, and this will ask the user to input rock, paper, or scissors again. On a new line, we're going to create a few print statements. In the first print statement, we're going to have Python print out what the user has entered, and in the second print statement, we're going to have it print out what the computer chose, to let the user know what they chose as well as what the computer chose. From here, we're going to create the heart of the game. The first thing we're going to do is create an if statement that checks if the user's choice is equal to the computer's choice. If it is, we're going to print it's a tie. Then we're going to create another if statement, but this time we're going to call it elif. And this time we're going to check if the user's choice is equal to rock, if the computer's choice is equal to scissors. If it is, we're going to print you win. Then we're going to create another elif statement. And this time we're going to check if the computer's choice is equal to paper. And we're going to check if the computer's choice is equal to rock. If it is, we're going to print you win. Then we're going to create one more elif function, and this is to check if the user's choice is equal to scissors. If it is and the computer's choice is equal to paper, then we're going to print you win. Now if one of the conditions is not true, then we're going to tell the user. So we're going to create an else function, and in this else function we're going to print computer wins. Because if all of these conditions are not true, then obviously the computer has won. Now that we have created our game, we have to create a loop that will keep the game playing until the user decides to stop. So we're going to type in while true, and in this while loop we're going to call the variable playGame. Now what this does is that it tells the function that we created in the beginning that if the condition is true, keep running. Then we need to ask the user if he feels like playing again. And at the end we need to include a .lower to keep the input in lowercase. Under this we need to create an if statement, and in this if statement we're going to check if the user's response is not equal to y, then we have to break out of the game. Now let's run the code. It's going to ask me to enter in a choice. I'm going to pick rock and hit enter, and it tells me I chose rock and the computer chose scissors, therefore I win. Then it asks me what should I like to do, do I want to play again? I'm going to say yes, and this time I'm going to choose paper, and guess what the computer chose, also paper, and therefore it's a tie. And then it's going to ask me if I want to play again, and I'm going to say yes. Now you can continue playing the game until you're tired, and whenever you feel like ending the game, you just have to type in no and Python will end the game. Now that's how you build a simple rock paper scissors game in Python. And hey, if you enjoyed or found this video helpful in any way, shape or form, then consider leaving a like and subscribing. Turn on post notifications to be the first to know when I publish another video. Also, if you have any constructive criticism or any questions or anything, comment them down below. And until next time, thanks for watching. Peace!